I'm Richard Feldman. I've been an LGBTQ activist since 1974 when I came out. I've been an AIDS activist since the crisis began. But my biggest accomplishment and my best accomplishment was God's Love We Deliver. I was very excited when I was moving to New York City in 1974 from Queens. And really found myself in a wonderful gay environment where I was feeling very comfortable and warm, but also knew that we had to struggle for our civil rights. It was devastating. I mean, the New York Times came out with an article, and even at that time I had known a few people who were coming down with Kaposi sarcoma, which was unheard of in people except for older, aged men who, were from Eastern Europe. But we did know that people were dying very quickly. By 1988 or 89, I had probably lost about 15 friends. So during that period of time, which was very, very hard, I was care partnering for people. I found half of my time being spent cooking for people, buying their groceries, getting them to their doctors, coming in and just being a friend. When my best friend got diagnosed, I really was overwhelmed and made some decisions that I needed to get help. In fact, friends were telling me, you really need to get some help. And I did some discussions with people and found my way to God's Love We Deliver. I clearly understood that it was very difficult preparing meals for someone and knowing what they could eat and what they couldn't eat. So my early exploration was, how do I find someone who can help? And, would go to restaurants to say, do you have meals that you can give up? And they would look at me like I was crazy. And then finally someone said, there is someone who's doing this, and it was Ganga. Ganga Stone then was cooking on a stove in a church on 86th Street and Amsterdam Avenue, which looked like a total fire hazard to me. And went up there and said, hi, here I am, how do I help? I mean, this was a mission that all of us felt we were fighting for other people's lives. And for me, it was a feeling like I was not affected, but I had to do something in doing the job of people who were affected and no longer were on this planet able to do the work that they would be doing. I think anyone who volunteers in the kitchen and sees the camaraderie of people working together to produce meals, and I'm not talking meals that aren't things you wouldn't want to eat yourself. I'm talking about really quality food, many of them being tailor-made to the person's illnesses in terms of what they can in fact incorporate into their diet, is really quite impressive and wonderful. And there's a spirit that happens while you're doing that. But the delivery part to me was always the issue of saying, here's who you're helping. And watch their faces when you deliver their meals and realize that you're not just feeding them frequently, but their families as well. So you're performing a service that is allowing them to continue living and have nutrition that is actually helping to keep them alive. So yeah, there's a wonderful, joyful spirit, and I guess pride for me means that my life has been one worth living, that it's one that has had an impact. The joy we all had when we came out continues to this time, in a different way, in terms of acceptance that we can be who we are. It took a lot of struggle while you weren't there to get to this point and get acceptance, but it was very easy once people were able to admit who they were and share it with families and friends, that people gradually recognized that it's part of life.